Why are you doing that?
You're procrastinating.
So this is a collar that electrocutes you every single time that you procrastinate. It promises that it can help you break all of your bad habits just by clicking this button. But does it actually work? Over the course of the next few days, I'm going to be putting it on me.
I'm taking it off.
And I'm only allowed to take it off when I go 24 hours with zero procrastination.
So basically we shock you for 2 minutes straight.
The pavlok that can change your habits instantly with the push of a single magic button. I think today's the day. What do Warren Buffett have to say? That $180 will turn into thousands of dollars by the time I'm 80.
Yeah, but it's an investment in yourself. If it can help you keep your habits and break bad habits, then that's worth way more than that.
It's true. I just feel like it's going to be a gimmick.
Well, that's why we're testing it.
We're spending $217.
The big red
Do
button.
we do it? Okay. So the pavlok promises to break bad habits by electrocuting you. The idea came when the founder, Manish Sethi, hired a girl on Craigslist to slap him whenever he stopped working. We'll be meeting Manish later on in the video, but pavlok has raised over £200,000 on Indiegogo. It was featured on Shark Tank, but why was it taken down from Amazon? What was the cause of these reviews? Does it work? And is the science it's built on even legitimate? So here we have it. It's the Pavlok 2. It's saying don't just track what you do, you should change what you do. It uses vibration, sound, and electric impulses to reward good behaviors and stop bad ones. We're here for the electrocution. There is the unit. This is the thing that shocks you. This is the thing that electrocutes you. Slots inside of there, and then we put it on. Oh. So when I put this on, I'm not allowed to take it off until I go 24 hours without procrastinating. Oh, it just vibrated. That wasn't a shock. That wasn't a shock. We're starting off by doing the pairing process now. We're pairing it to Cade's phone, and he's going to shock me whenever he sees me procrastinate. Congrats. Now get your device, insert your device into the wristband, and be careful. Your device is set at the minimum of 10%. Give it a try. So it wants me to shock myself.
At 10%.
At 10%, but still I haven't procrastinated.
Yeah,
I'm recording a video right now. That's literally Alright, press it.
Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
We've done the test, right? Turn the camera. So there's a bunch of different settings. Sleep, we can use it to do sleep tracking. There's a sleep course. To build a habit, there's an intro course. Or we can stop a habit or do a version. With routines, we can follow a morning routine or an evening routine. The thing I'm wondering though is how is this little thing on my wrist gonna actually get me to change my behavior? So you get points, 75 volts plus points. They've tried to gamify behavior change through a bunch of different things. Yeah, I wonder what 100% is gonna be like. The time is 3:58, the 24 hours starts now. For me personally, procrastination isn't a massive problem in my life. I'm very productive. I put a lot of emphasis on how I spend my time. It's of massive importance for me. But the one thing that's still stuck is checking my emails. For whatever reason, maybe it's the dopamine that hits, maybe whenever a problem's difficult, it's easier just to escape and go into emails. Maybe it's not knowing what's going to be in your inbox, but for whatever reason, checking my emails is something that I do too regularly.
Why are you doing that?
You're procrastinating!
You sent me a message on Slack!
You wanna argue with me?
Cade has sabotaged me. I've got to reset the clock. We've got 24 hours until I can take this off. So I'm gonna be using the pavlok as an alarm clock. Something that lets me jump out of bed and go straight into the most important task of the day. It's that jolt of energy that I'm going for here. So I've just woken up and the alarm did not work. I think the shock went off, it just wasn't strong enough to wake me up. So tomorrow night I'm going to increase the percentage and we'll see if it works then. So the device, Pavlok, is named after Ivan Pavlov, who was the founder of classical conditioning. In 1980, he was measuring the amount of saliva that dogs would produce during feeding, and he discovered that, unlike he predicted, dogs produced the most saliva when footsteps of the feeder was walking towards them, more than actually having food in front of them. But what does this have to do with Pavlok and getting electrocuted? Well, not all that much, but B.F. Skinner went on to expand upon classical conditioning to create operant conditioning. If you've ever been sick after eating a certain kind of food, your brain is automatically repulsed by eating that food again. Or if you've been hungover, your brain doesn't want to drink. It's a perfect example of how we feel affecting the things that we want to do. So Manish put this theory to the test with a scientific study done on smokers, and he found that 75% of the smokers went at least a week completely smoke-free. But it's not all good news. This field of research has a whole lot of controversy surrounding it. There's doubts as to whether it's ethical, whether it even works, and even B.F. Skinner went on to criticize it. But we'll talk more about that later. So it's day 2 of testing the pavlok as an alarm clock. I'm going to be going to bed now. I've turned up the shock all the way up. Let's see if it can work for that. So there we go. Turn up the shock and I definitely wake up. The shock's surprisingly strong. You wouldn't think that a little band like this could actually shock you, but it's genuinely painful. And yeah, turns out it works as an alarm. I've got some bad news. With like an hour left with the challenge, I was doing some work. I hit a difficult point. Instinctively, Command T opens up a new tab. M, mail gets auto-filled, and enter, I was on my emails. I didn't even go on them, I was only on them for a few seconds. But the challenge says I've got to restart. So we're all the way back to 0. The clock starts again, and we've got 24 hours left.
Yo, I just heard that you got zapped.
I know.
You got another zap now because you're getting distracted.
Not a chance.
I found something on the app that I think will really help you in overcoming your email addiction. It's called an aversion session.
Okay.
So basically we shock you for like 2 minutes straight whilst you are on your emails. Do you want to give it a go? Open your emails and start doing them. Oh yeah, and so because you failed, I'm going to increase the percentage as well. So during all of this, the zap strength is going up to 50.
Is it non-stop?
Yeah.
How long left?
It's like pulsing.
Man, it just stopped. Oh, that was brutal.
So that's supposed to train you to not enjoy doing emails.
It's supposed to train me to associate the thing that I'm doing with that kind of a pain.
Yeah.
So that when I think of emails, I'm reminded of that kind of pain. That's the logic. I mean, we'll see. We'll see if it works. I don't want to be having this on for days and days and days. Not just because it's pretty annoying to be wearing, it's pretty annoying to having to be zapping myself, but also it just takes a lot of time and a lot of space just thinking about this thing. So I want to get this challenge done as soon as possible. Hey Manish, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. Look what I'm wearing.
Hey, you got a pavlok too. Nice.
I'm using it to shock myself manually by pressing the button, or I'm having my friend watch me to shock me. So what ways would you recommend people to automatically get shocked themselves?
Cool. So the easiest and simplest thing that you want to do is use our Chrome extension.
I'm going to be exploring the Chrome extension and the rescue time stuff. I think the main problem last time was that I was having to zap myself and you were having to zap me. The punishment was nowhere near as close to the activity as it should have been. So first of all, if I go to a website that I've selected on my blacklist, we get something pretty cool. We set it up for YouTube. Notification pops up. You have 15 seconds before the zap. Click here to close the page. 15 seconds. Don't do this on yourself, love yourself and get focused. I doubt it's going to shock me again. No, it does shock you! I can see it being beneficial if you find yourself unconsciously going onto YouTube or Netflix or Facebook or whatever. I can see this being beneficial because it wakes you up from your slumber and your automatic, but with like a shock that you can't ignore.
Yeah.
So I think that the main benefit of it so far is awareness of the bad habits, not necessarily the rewiring your brain or any kind of like aversion therapy. So now it's set up that as soon as I go onto my mail, 3 seconds in I get a beep and 5 seconds in I get a shock. That way I don't have to electrocute myself, or Kay doesn't have to electrocute me. It does it automatically. I'm also not 100% sure if this is good for mental health. Punishing yourself when you do something bad is a little bit dodgy. when you do something bad, you want to forgive yourself, you want to move on, and you want to love yourself. This just kind of feels like you can be in a rut and you're punishing yourself as if you are inherently wrong. That's almost what it suggests.
And there's been one thing that's been holding me back. It's on the pavlok and on the website, you advertise to do with negative thoughts. I imagine someone that's sitting there feeling bad about themselves, they have negative thoughts, and then they're electrocuting themselves on top of those negative thoughts.
The goal is that you use it like a cognitive behavioral therapy style stimulus. So it's like when I catch myself, I will press the button, smile, and then think about the positive thought.
So there's an hour left, and then I've promised Cage that we're going to put it up to 100%, and I'm going to get shocked just to see what it's like. I can take this off my wrist finally. 23, 22, 21. Ah, finally.